To order, to please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the Board of Aldermen meeting for Monday, August 17th, 2026. First order of business, as it always is additions, deletions, or other modifications to the agenda. Does anybody have any changes they'd like to make to the agenda? Seeing none, we will go as is. All right, next up is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes. Anyone have any changes they'd like to make to our minutes? Looks like we're all set. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed. Motion passes. Okay, so we're on to public comment. Is there anyone present tonight outside the rail from a member of the public who would like to speak on an issue not on the agenda? Issue not on the agenda. Okay, Rebecca, step right up and like
you.
I always do, just ask politely for your name and address for the record.
Thank you. I'm Rebecca Stevens. I live at 35 Thrall Avenue here in Rutland, and I'm coming to you tonight actually as the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity of Rutland County, Vermont. And I just wanted to formally invite you all to our unveiling of the model home that we have built at our new facility right in-house. We are unveiling it, and this is the model that is going to be going on 113 Library Avenue, 4 of them. So this is your opportunity to see what it's going to look like. We're very excited. It's Wednesday from 5:30 to 7, and the ribbon cutting will actually happen at 6 p.m. So please come on down, join us, have a cookie from Delvinaries, see all the hard work that our community has helped us to put together to get where we are today. And we're just very excited. So thank you, and that was it.
Okay, so I'm just going to double check. It is this Wednesday, the 19th, from
Yes.
5:30 to 7.
Yes,
Down on Cold River Road?
3092 Cold River Road, right behind U-Haul. It's in the back, but you're going to get to tour the Restore if you haven't been there yet. You'll also get to see the panel shop where the home was actually built, and then you'll get to tour the building and the new home. So it's very exciting. We're very, very happy. It's been a labor of love, a lot of people coming together, a lot of donors, just time and materials, and it's been phenomenal, and I can't wait to show it to you. So,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
When will they be placed on Library Avenue?
Well, Habitat for Humanity is completely charitable, nonprofit. We are dependent upon the donations of our community. So we are hoping that we'll be able to break ground in the fall, pending a couple of donations that we're waiting to hear whether or not they're going to come in. But really, it just depends when the money comes in, and then we can build. So the hope is we'll break ground in the fall. It could be spring. We don't know. It's very exciting. We never know what's going to happen. So it's always fun. But we get it done, so that's what's exciting too.
It looks like we have one other question there for you, Alderman Franzoni.
Just want to ask the public, please support, come to the open house. I had the opportunity to see it earlier this week. I was pretty amazed for was it 16 by, 24 footprint? It's pretty amazing how much is involved in that house. It's a beautiful home, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else?
David.
Yes, I think you're all set. All righty. Thank you. Yes, please. And we certainly want to welcome you too to the Board of Aldermen.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. And if I could just politely ask for your name for the record and who you have along with you.
So this is Oakley Sweeney, my daughter. She is 7. My name is Katrina Coette.
All right.
I am here tonight just to bring to the attention of the board an issue that myself, several other people within, that live on Evergreen Ave and the surrounding area have been dealing with since 2021. There is a building that was purchased December 21 and is now sublet by Pathways. They use this for housing for people who are coming out of jail. Constantly we see people bringing in new tenants. We've experienced everything from a convicted murderer being on the premises. He was returned to jail very soon after coming into the home. There has been constant noise complaints, over 30 calls in the last 9 months to this location. There's sex offender check-ins. Outside, you can hear one of the neighbors. That is Jared Blake. He lives next door with his 1 and 2-year-old sons. Very worried for their safety. I was there just a month ago fixing things for some tenants, and my 7-year-old was with me, and somebody who was clearly on drugs, nodding over and falling, was walking up my driveway and right past my daughter. He's very upset about it. We bring this to your attention because I'm nervous for the people on the street. I grew up on Evergreen Avenue. I grew up in Rutland. I've been here for 40 years. 41 Evergreen Avenue is my home. I was brought to from the hospital. It means a lot to me. That community means a lot to me. My grandmother lives 1 street over. All my tenants are constantly emailing me and sending me notes that there was high volumes of noise, fights in the street, neighbors coming out and getting involved. We've checked in. Yes.
No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
We've checked in, and there are some conditions of new people coming in that weren't followed up upon, and we're not sure that they have the full permits to be operating as they are. It's just been really, really hard. I have a lot of elderly people, a lot of children on that street. It also is a street that leads into all of the trails and the rec trails for kids of the community. And one of those trails leads to a preschool. And when I looked at the list of calls, there's a lot of sex offenders that are being checked in on within this building. It terrifies me to know that they have such quick access to the schools that are right around the corner. And also to small children like Jared's that are right next door. I can't go over and fix my fence because I can't get on that property without getting yelled at by someone. So we just wanted to bring it to the attention of the board, so hopefully more action can be taken and can be looked at further.
So before I let anybody from the board weigh in, I just want to say a couple of things. Katrina and I have talked. Katrina's dad was a good friend of mine. I've known the family for a long time. This is an untenable situation. I did come up to Building and Zoning on Friday afternoon, did speak with them. Apparently there is action that is about to be taken, and maybe the city attorney can back me up a little bit on that if he's in on the loop. But they are aware of the third party that is hosting these people here. And not being oversaw like they should be by the probation and parole, and it is a situation that's out of control. So we are aware of it. We're trying to do something about it as soon as we possibly can. I didn't get a chance to call you to tell you that today. I'm glad you came tonight because I encouraged you to come, and I know a couple other members of the board here you talked to too. So I don't know if I can add anything else to that, but Alderwoman Davis, you go ahead.
Well, I think we need to find out is how they are housed there, because we do have an ordinance that speaks to, and it came up when the Dismas House was located on Park Avenue at the time, how folks are, if they're ordered there by a court, then it violates our ordinance. So that's something that the city attorney would have to look at. I don't know what Pathways is. Is it a
So it's a subcontract.
So
It's a nonprofit subcontractor to the state probation.
So
Bureau.
they have a rental agreement with whoever the landlord is? Is that
Yes.
what's happening?
And the landlord is an out-of-state landlord.
But we can still hold the landlord accountable, and we have opportunities to do that, and we need to be looking into those opportunities to do that.
I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I know we have the chief of police here, and I don't know if he wants to add anything to what we've just heard, but you know, it's gotten to the point where the situation is, it's in a residential neighborhood, along with everything else that was just said, so.
Yes, Mr. President, I don't think that Pathways have been a good neighbor here in Rutland, and I think what is being said about strict oversight from probation and parole is not accurate. And
Correct.
We're seeing it play out in the neighborhood. We've been very frustrated what's been happening there. Some of the issues some of the folks may have seen from 43 Summer Street when we've been dealing with that are folks that were ejected from 43 Summer not that long ago, but there's no go back to jail, don't collect $200. No, that is just, well, now you're just out on the street and we're still dealing with it. So I've been pretty frustrated with this relationship between Pathways and DOC. They have to do better.
Yeah. Yeah. Have anything to add to that?
We heard, I've been working with Luke Alexander at the building department to try to even understand what Pathways is doing and what they aren't doing, and with the qualifications that they do or do not meet in regards to not only what they're doing but how they're doing it. We've got a whole list of questions that we need sort of answered to be able to really identify and understand what strategies and avenues are available. It may be a shameless plug, but I think the ordinances that are on the agenda tonight may assist in doing in addressing those kinds of things. But to the chief's point, if we are in a situation where even what's available or what may become available certainly doesn't do the trick, if Pathways is not doing what's required of them, the enforcement mechanism may be through court. And if the city's got to engage in litigation to do that, I'm more than happy to go to court when the cause is just. And so this seems to be one of those where I can understand how dealing with it every day. It doesn't help to say we do have to take our time and do our due diligence to make sure that we've got all our ducks in a row before we would do something like that. But I can tell you absolutely and for sure that it's on the radar. It's being actively worked upon, and we're getting said ducks in the row. Yeah,
I appreciate that. I did speak with Luke at the zoning office, and he stated he's reached out to Pathways 3 times now with no response. So we're also having some communications issues with them as to what they did or didn't do. And I was met with hostility when I reached out to them as well. So I appreciate anything everybody in this room can do and is doing, and looking forward to getting my tenants and my little avenue up there safer.
Right. And you should be able to live in safely anywhere we are here in the city. So, Alderman Beauchamp.
Would it be worthwhile for the city to contact DOC to get their take on it?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I was told that we have. We have contacted DOC. And
Response?
next to nothing up to this point. But I can't verify that for sure. But they're certainly going to be made aware of it after tonight.
Get him, Gord.
Anyone else?
Did you want to try and say something, Jerry?
This is our other neighbor.
Hello, folks. Jerry Blake with Barrett Blake, my 1-year-old. As you can tell, we're both a little upset about the situation that's going on at 43 Evergreen. One of the things that concerns me one of the things that concerns us is that, we look at Rutland City as a place that we want our families to be able to live here, go to work here, have a successful life here. We've lived at 45 Evergreen before this house came in, before the change of ownership. And since then, we've had somebody who beat somebody to death living in the house. And then it wasn't until he threatened to beat somebody else up or kill them or whatever that he was removed. We've also had child sexual predators there. We've also had folks that have drug-induced robberies or robberies there. So really the only criteria for Pathways to not, or DEC to not have somebody in a halfway house situation is that whether they're arson related. So if they're gonna burn down a house, they can't have them there. But if they raped a child, by all means, you're welcome. The biggest thing that I have a concern with is that the good guys don't prosper when bad actors fail to follow the rules. It's clear in our zoning that for you to operate a halfway house, you have to be in a certain district, and you have to not only be in that certain district, but you also have to get conditional use approval. So it's not automatically authorized by the zoning administrator. So in our district where we're at, single family residence, it's not even a permitted use. It's not a conditional use. It's not allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be there. And further, the Department of Corrections guidance on this situation is that they're supposed to consider the local zoning ordinance when they're placing people in housing, whether they're on parole or furlough or whatever it is. So what we have a disconnect with is a Department of Corrections who's not overseeing their own program according to their own policies. We have Pathways who's out of town, not managing their properties. We have it illegally operating in a part of town that shouldn't be there. And ultimately, I'm concerned for the safety of my wife and my 2 kids. You know, right now, we can't even go outside to play without having to look over our shoulder as to knowing what's going on. And I think that's a really bad statement of what is the character of Rutland when you can't even play in your own backyard. And if you think, oh, well, so what? It's coming to your neighborhood. The next time somebody realizes that Department of Corrections is paying what they're paying to house these people, it could come to your next door neighbor. It could come, you know, wherever. So it doesn't, so as we're a testament to, it doesn't matter if you live in an area where it's not allowed, if bad actors just go ahead and act. So something needs to be done. The Department of Corrections needs to be contacted, I think a call to them saying, hey, you have people here that are not being managed properly, and they're also not supposed to be in that specific house because you're in a zone that's not allowed for that use. And if they don't comply, then I guess, what do you do? Sue the Department of Corrections? I don't know. But I want to live in a city that I can play in the backyard with my kids. Their innocence is what I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to keep them from growing up as fast as possible. And for them to be exposed to what they're having to be exposed to next door is pretty ridiculous. And it's horrible. And for as family friendly as this city is, I think it's completely, just, it's a shame. And I think that the board needs to know what's going on. And I think people need to cause action to happen. So, because I do not want my child's innocence to be robbed by the act of somebody who should not be in that neighborhood. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
For your time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else?
If I may.
You may.
I guess I'm just not comfortable just saying what we said and just leaving it. So now what do we do? Who's going to follow up? Is it building and zoning that we are going to refer and have a report back? Is it our city attorney, the police chief, somebody?
So why don't we send it to, I think it's already in the city attorney's purview.
Yeah.
Building and zoning knows about it, and the police chief has just said that he's on it. So whether you need anything formal from the board, I don't think so. But we are looking for a response at some point to let us know what's going on.
I think also, as the city attorney referred to, the motion's coming up later tonight in unfinished business to propose changes in additional ordinances to start allowing the city additional tools and mechanisms to enforce those tools will also be a good step and a message to the public. But I do hear you that something needs to happen quickly in this particular instance.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You good?
I just don't want to make sure that.
No, it doesn't get, no, I have no intention of letting it go.
Yeah.
And I talked to the mayor about this the other day too,
Yeah.
so.
And I can.
I think everybody's
I'm-
on board.
I'm not gonna let it go.
And the city attorney's not gonna let it
No,
go.
I'm sure you're not going to let it go. I just think that there needs to be some kind of conversation. I think our neighborhood went through this with Dismas House, and it felt like you were running up against brick walls, and there wasn't a lot of conversation coming back to the public at the time to answer questions and address the fears that were out there. And I don't want that to happen to Evergreen.
Yep, yep, I agree. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Katrina. Yep, all right, thank you. Okay, anybody else outside the rail on any issue not on the agenda? It looks like we're all set for now. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Mayor Donahue, this is your opportunity, if you'd like. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be relatively brief. I just wanted to mention in our leadership team meeting today, our Commissioner of Public Works, Bob Protovansky, had mentioned about all the paving projects that are going to be undertaken, probably many of which will start before your next board meeting. So just wanted to be aware he's got a lot of streets on the list this summer: Spruce Street, Granger Street, Morris Place, which the neighbors had come to this board about, if you recall, will be paved, as well as Chaplin Avenue, South Street, Water Street, Nichols Street from end to end, long overdue, and one of my favorites too, what I call the bump on Woodstock Avenue. So there are a few more, but I just wanted to give a shout out to our DPW because they've been getting prepared for this paving, and then our contractor Wilk will be coming in soon to get this underway and get accomplished before the cold sets in, so it's got to be done in this window, and it's all going to happen fast. So there might be a little more disruption than usual, but it'll be worth the wait. That's one. The other is, to sound like a broken record, Tier 1A exemption, which our pre-application is into the Land Use Review Board, thanks to Ed Bove, our Director of Planning, and they will be having a public hearing. So this is turning around quickly, I'm glad to report, because we were in the first in the state to apply, hopefully the first in the state to achieve this. But that will be August 25th, which is a week from Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. That's going to be held in the facility of, it's 16 Evelyn Street, but that's the Rutland Regional Planning Commission building, fully accessible. The public portion starts at 1:30, and everyone's invited, everybody from the board. I know it might be hard if you're working, but there will be plenty of opportunity to comment, but also, in case anyone wanted to appear in person, the public's invited too. But we're hoping that this exemption to Act 250, which we hope to achieve and be the first to achieve, will be our economic development calling card for the future. So I look forward to that meeting, and I'm excited that the Land Use Review Board has decided that they will come down here that quickly. It means they're taking our application seriously and that we're moving ahead expeditiously so that we can get this accomplished for Rutland. Thank you.
Okay, good, great, thanks. Any questions for the mayor?
I have a question in regard, it may not have anything to do with this, but it has to do with paving or whatever.
Yeah.
Sidewalks.
Yeah.
Some of the sidewalks are atrocious. I walk on the sidewalks, I live up in, from Bellevue, up in that area. Walking on some of the sidewalks, I broke my wrist, I have a plate in my wrist. Okay, from one of my lawns. Walking on the sidewalk. Now I have to choose whether to walk on the sidewalk or on the side of the road, facing traffic. A lot of times I check out the sidewalk before I walk on the sidewalk. If the sidewalk is like broken and wah and out of balance and whatnot, and overgrown and whatnot, I walk on the side of the road, facing traffic, and, I'm going into the grass when cars are coming. Some see you, some don't. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. I mean, you got on the highway, you've got a bicycle route. I don't hardly see anybody in the bicycle lane on the highways, the throughways that you guys have. I mean, I can't even walk in my neighborhood up in that area. So I don't know if we have anything, if the Rutland City has any plans on paving sidewalks, redoing old, original sidewalks over, or what? I'd like some input on that, if possible.
And Mr. Chairman, I don't mind addressing that
Yep.
as well, and thank you for sharing that. I'm a walker too, and I don't disagree with you. I think a lot of people in the city agree with you.
And I almost fell the other day also, but I did catch myself.
Yeah, and I am keenly aware of it. And I did want to let you know that there is a plan as they develop roads now that, as you know, are replacing water and sewer and then paving so that they're not paving and then digging up water and sewer. Now they're doing that with these projects. Mostly they're doing sidewalks incorporated with the paving most times when they're needed in those areas, as well as the curbing. So it's becoming more of a comprehensive fix, but there is money that has been clearly earmarked for that specific purpose.
Still don't have sidewalks. For some reason, we're not, they were built.
And you said you're on Bellevue Avenue.
I'm on Jefferson.
Oh, Jefferson. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're off of Thrall. Yeah, okay. Well,
And I walk out, down towards, Gene Cole, where Gene Cole lives, Joe Gene Cole.
yeah. So Edgewood Drive,
I
yeah,
walk out, way out in that area there, that newer development,
yeah.
and they don't have sidewalks either, so.
Yeah, and one was brought to my attention yesterday on Nickel Street, and I had said that we would be taking a look at that because we are in fact going to be paving Nickel Street this summer finally. And those do need to be done, so roads, sidewalks, and curbs. And it's more a comprehensive approach that the Department of Public Works is taking, but with the goal of getting it caught up eventually so that you won't experience what you're experiencing, because we don't want people falling.
Another thing is, I had two really humongous original trees when I bought my house back in '92. I had two humongous trees out in front of my house beside my driveway that the city decided to take down for some reason. Okay, fine, and your trees if you want. But anyways, maybe they want to put a sidewalk in someday, here, whatever. So anyways, they took them down, and then all of a sudden I started getting black crap in my water, city water. And I brought down a package, a Ziploc bag full of stuff that I got out of the washing machine. I couldn't even use my faucet.
Maybe she could.
I was going through aerators. I changed my faucets. I changed them. I'm garbage. I buy drinking water.
And you're on Jeffords.
Yes, yes. 22.
Yeah.
So I don't know if when they took the trees down, they may have broke my line coming into the house. Of course, they're not going to admit to it or whatever, but I never had a problem before.
So if I may interrupt, and I apologize.
I don't need to get off the beat.
I know. I would suggest you do have a few things that you have concerns with. Perhaps
I mentioned them before.
perhaps a meeting with the mayor, and I'd be glad to sit in on that and listen to what you have to say, and maybe there's some way we can address at least some of them, if not all of them. I know the sidewalks, I was mayor once. There's a need out there that's been there for pressing for years and years and years, but they're very, very, very expensive. Even more than, and Paul, you know, or Alderman Clifford, you know too. But we'd be glad to sit down and listen to your concerns. Thank you.
I don't mind people listening, but, people get hurt,
Yep.
and,
Yep.
possibly next time somebody falls, you might get a lawsuit,
Yep. Yep. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your concerns. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. All righty. Okay. So we're moving on. No special event permits requests tonight. Reports and letters from department heads. We have Treasurer Markowski. Mary, it looks like you're up first and last. Good evening. Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I will be brief. The item that I had on the agenda was the July reports, and July is kind of a skip over as I'm still doing a lot of adjustments, but wanted you to have those reports. I don't know if anybody was able to look through. As I said at the last meeting, right, throughout July, my concern was cash flow. So I wanted to, one of the reasons I wanted to be on the agenda tonight was just to give you an update of how things are going. I wanted to show you, we had talked about a grant anticipation note, and then we had done some internal borrowing between the cash reserve fund and the general fund. And I wanted to show you on the balance sheet where, like, so in future reports, where to be looking for those balances. That project on Meadow Street is huge. The expenses are just something that we can't cover. I work closely, almost daily, with the city engineer on the projects there, and just cash flow, what's happening there. So we had drawn from that grant anticipation note roughly 1.3 million, and we have an outstanding requisition with the state for 1.5. So right now, we're just kind of figuring out what that time lag is to get to requisition and actually get the funds. So that's been out there a couple weeks, hoping to see that money. You can only requisition this grant once a month, so we're careful about, timing wise and stuff, but did want to let the public, let the board know that that's what we're doing. And then the other one was just really low cash flow mid-July, so I did transfer from the Fund 300, the Capital Reserve Fund. So I actually set up a liability there so we could monitor and follow that through. Once the tax bills went out, we started collecting right off. So the cash position is much better, and I'm hoping to resolve that transfer or loan borrowing, and I just want to keep you apprised to that. I think that's really important. I feel like past history, we got in a little bit of trouble with transfers and not resolving them. So I really want to keep the board on notice on those things. One thing that you'll notice in the packet was when we run the tax bill, in the reports, the tax revenue is immediate. So you see the whole thing because we're on an accrual basis. So we billed 24 million, and that's what you see as revenue there. So when you're looking at revenues, that is there. Just a really busy time in the treasurer's office with, right now I'm working to get the annual report to the mayor on quick, so I'm working on that, but we do have some tax sales. We're working with the city attorney. So I think there were 5 letters going out today. So we want to do those much earlier in the year versus later. So we start with a list, we go right down the high balances and write down. So Linda in my office is working on those. And then we just got like a 6-page list of things to be doing for the city audit. So it's quite busy right now. But as we get, especially the first quarter, then we can see how we're doing FY27 and start watching expenses if there are any concerns about departments. But that's all I have for tonight. Any questions?
Okay, anyone have any questions for Treasurer Markowski? Thank you for keeping us up to date on what's going on. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, looks like we're all set. All right, appreciate it. Okay, and moving on to standing committee reports. First up is Alderwoman Davis, Public Safety.
Thank you. So Public Safety met August 12th. Members present were Alderman Clifford, Beauchamp, Gilliam, and Chairman Davis. Others present were President Allaire, Alderman Esposito, Talbot, Franzoni, Chief Proudy, Commanders Whitehead and Bixby, Desiree Stone Feliciano, Ryan Brady, Deputy Chief Dan Getty, Scott Mangan, Ellen Coyle from HR, and City Attorney. The meeting began at 5:30. There were no additional items or public comments received. The first topic was the Deputy Chief's compensation request. Chief Proudy discussed the need for this position as a restructure of the department. He is trying to establish a clear chain of command and was asking for an increase in pay from commander to deputy chief amounting to approximately $6,000 or $67.80 per hour. Chuck Whitehead will be named to this position. The discussion occurred regarding, is the increase covering all associated line items? Do we have a job description that shows the duties and responsibilities? After discussion, the issues was tabled until more information was received and will remain in committee. I will say at this point, we did receive more information which was forwarded to you. So I think I'll give the next report, and then we can determine, does the board want to move forward on a motion this evening for the compensation for deputy chief, or do we want to send it back to committee? So that's what I'm going to ask you to consider. The next topic was the command staff vacation accrual request. The request is to align the deputy chief and the commander's position to a proposed 5-week vacation upon hire or promotion. This vacation would be a use it or lose it benefit, no carryovers, no accruals. The purpose is to enhance the ability to recruit and retain experienced command staff. The proposed savings to the taxpayers by not allowing a carryover and post-employment payout would be significant. They must use this time by their anniversary date. The motion in committee was to approve the vacation request for 5 weeks for the command staff upon hire or promotion was approved 4-0, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
And there's a second. Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Debate on the motion. Anyone? Motion is to approve and move forward. Seeing no further debate, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes.
So I will say, Mr. Chairman, that we do have the additional cost for the line items. It is not $6,000, it is $7,886.10. We did ask for a job description for the deputy chief of police. I believe the HR's concern was it going to be more responsibilities than Commander Whitehead had at the command level? And it appears quite clear that it is. They also cost out the command staff responsibilities and duties. So I'll leave it to the board. Their privilege, we would have to untable or suspend the rules to take it up because it was not voted out of committee.
Okay, what's the board's pleasure? The choice is to untable and take it up tonight, or just leave it in committee and have another committee meeting? All right, we got a lot of information here. I think this is what we were looking for, so I would say go ahead.
Personally, I don't know. I would think just leave it in committee and discuss it further, but that's just me.
The committee feel like I want to refer, to leave it in public safety and have another meeting to just address the issues that have been sent to us?
It's just me.
It sounds like that's what the
Thank
board would like to do.
Okay.
You may.
This is a budgeted, which is board approved and technically taxpayer approved once they approved the city budget that you, in your wisdom, forwarded to the voters. And that this is a command structure that's being built to fight crime in this community. And this man is not only doing that job, but exceeding that as a commander, as the new deputy chief. I really feel that this is something that we need to quickly address. It's been a committee, and the additional information was requested of you, and it's been provided. This is serious business that these men and women are dealing with every day. I'd hate to see this one languish. It's a veteran of the force. He's doing a great job, and we want to encourage that right now because it's tough out there. So I would ask you kindly to please consider this tonight.
So I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and take the matter up tonight.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules. Non-debatable, takes 3/4 of the board. I believe you're going to need 6 votes. So all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes.
All right, and maybe Sharon or
Right.
Chief can help me with the language of the motion.
So I think I would just, if I may, move to approve the deputy chief's compensation request at a total of $7,886.10. I believe the job descriptions were not part of a motion, it was just informational as to duties and responsibilities.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any debate on that? And I want to thank the extra information for the committee and the board. That was very helpful. Any further debate? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, and that's it for you, Alderwoman Davis?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. So, we are moving along. No other standing committee reports, nothing for representatives. I don't see anything for letters, miscellaneous communication, nothing control commissioners, cannabis commissioners. We're getting right down to unfinished business. And under unfinished business, we have Alderman Adams, which has a few things for us. So, Alderman Adams, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have three motions in regard to amending and adding to Title IX. The Charter and Ordinance Committee met on July 27th to work on this, put quite a bit of time into it. I've worked very hard on it. The city attorney has worked exceptionally hard on it to make it palatable and legally binding from the mess I handed him. But with that said, I think it's important that we pass these in order to address the ongoing issues because, as we heard earlier, the issue is here and it's going to spread. So for Chapter 16 amendment, I move that the Board of Aldermen adopt the ordinance amending and restating Title IX, Chapter 16, vacant, blighted, and abandoned properties, subject to the petition right under 24 VSA, Section 1973, and direct the city clerk in lieu of full text publication and as authorized by Charter Section 9-5.2.
Point of order. I think we have to have a motion to take up from the table those that you read at the last meeting.
That's true.
Okay.
I didn't, get what you were getting at. So, a motion to untable is on the floor?
Second.
Second. Been seconded, okay.
And
And that would include all three of these? Okay.
Am I good to carry on where I left off?
Already,
Oh, we have to vote. We have to read.
yeah, we got to vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes, thank you. Okay, go right ahead.
From where I left off, right? I don't need to.
I don't think we need anything else.
To make at least 200 copies of the revised ordinance available at the office of the city clerk at cost and to publish in one or more city newspapers at least 20 days before the ordinance takes effect, a statement of the substance of the amendments prepared by the city attorney and approved by the board together with notice that the copies are available.
And you so move.
And I so move.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded on the first presentation. This just needs a majority, that's the word I was looking for. Majority vote. Alderman Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just, may I ask the city attorney, just for the record, do any of these require public hearings?
Not the, not the three contemplated ordinance changes. The charter amendment that's part of this does, but the ordinances do not require a public meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further debate? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, motion passes. Okay.
Second, for Chapter 17 and 18, to adopt a new ordinance, Chapter 16 or Chapter 18, and direct publication by concise summary, I move that the Board of Aldermen adopt the ordinance enacting Title IX, Chapter 17, public nuisance properties, and Title IX, Chapter 18, non-owner occupied building registration, subject to the petition right under 24 VSA, Section 1973, and direct the city clerk to publish in one or more city newspapers at least 20 days before the ordinance takes effect, a concise summary of the ordinance stating where the full text may be examined and explaining the citizens' rights for a petition for a vote, and post and record the ordinance as required by law.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded on that second one. Anyone have any questions or debate on that? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, motion passes. And finally, the third.
For the charter amendment proposal and set the two hearings required by 17 VSA, subsection 2645. I move that the Board of Aldermen approve the proposal to amend the revised charter of the City of Rutland to add Section 9-8.10 Municipal Property Charges, Lien Collection, and Section 9-8.11 Code Enforcement Appeals Board, and to amend Section 9-3.1 to conform its penalty provision to Section 9-5.3. Direct the city clerk to file an official copy of the charter proposal as a public record at least 10 days before the public hearing, or in 2 public hearings on the proposal, the first to be held at least 30 days before the vote. Direct that the notices set out each affected charter section in amended form with deleted matter struck through and new matter underlined, and place the proposal before the voters by Australian ballot at the March 2027 annual city election.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded, and that one was a mouthful, but thank you. Any debate on that? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed. Motion passes. Okay, all righty. Is that it for your report? Thank you very much, Alderman Adams. And moving on to miscellaneous motions, resolutions, new business to come before the board. Anything? Ready? I guess we don't have any old business, but any old business, anything else to come before the board tonight? Looks like we're all set. Motion to adjourn is in order. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, we're adjourned.